Pain is the price of growth. And if you truly want to elevate in life, you have to understand that comfort will never give you the version of yourself you are meant to become. Growth is not born in the easy moments. It is born in the struggle, in the grind, in the moments when you feel like quitting, but you keep going. Think about the gym. The weight you lift is heavy. Your muscles ache. The burn is real, but that very pain is a sign that growth is happening. The fibers in your muscles literally tear so they can rebuild stronger. Life works the exact same way. Every challenge you face, every failure you encounter, every obstacle that makes you cry or doubt yourself is not there to destroy you. It is there to shape you. Pain is the tuition you pay for greatness, and there's no discount, no shortcut, no easy way around it. When you experience pain, your natural instinct is to run from it, to find comfort, to seek the easy path. But easy never produces extraordinary. Nobody has ever become legendary by doing what was convenient. The champions, the leaders, the people who transform their lives and the lives of others are the ones who were willing to endure the seasons of pain because they understood that every struggle was growing them into the person they needed to be. It pushes you to discover strength you didn't even know existed inside of you. When you're backed into a corner, when you're at rock bottom, that's when growth happens because you are forced to adapt, to rise, to evolve. Think about a seed planted in the ground. Before it becomes a tree, before it produces fruit, it first has to be buried in darkness. The seed has to break open. It has to go through pressure and discomfort before it sprouts. That breaking process is painful, but it's necessary because without it, there is no growth. The same way your struggles, your disappointments, your tears, and your heartbreaks are all part of that breaking process. They are not signs of weakness. They are signs that you are being stretched into something greater. Pain strips away the unnecessary. It reveals what really means, what really matters. It forces you to focus, to commit, to decide whether you're really serious about the life you say you want. Everybody wants success until they realize what it costs. Everybody loves the idea of greatness until they realize the bill is paid in long nights, early mornings, sacrifices, and yes, pain. But the truth is, there is no success without it. You cannot rise to the top by skipping the struggle. The pain you feel is evidence that you are moving forward. The pain is proof that you're alive, that you're in a fight, that you're refusing to stay where you are. The greatest athletes in the world understand this. They don't run from pain, they chase it. They know the soreness, the exhaustion, the sacrifices, what separates them from everyone else. The greatest leaders, innovators, and dreamers know the same. They didn't get where they are by avoiding the hard moments. They got there by embracing them, by choosing growth over comfort, by saying yes to the pain because they knew it would produce a stronger, wiser, more powerful version of themselves. You cannot be both comfortable and exceptional. You cannot grow while staying in the same safe zone. Pain demands change, and change is a doorway to prize. When life knocks you down, when everything seems heavy, when it feels like you can't carry another burden, that's when you're closest to your breakthrough. The pain you are experiencing is not in vain. It is producing growth you cannot see yet. It is setting you up for opportunities, blessings, and victories that only the stronger version of you can handle. So stop looking at pain as your enemy. Stop asking, why me? And start asking, what is this pain teaching me? How is this pain growing me? What strength is being born from this struggle? Because every tear, every sleepless night, every sacrifice is investment into the person you are becoming. Pain is the currency of transformation. And if you are willing to pay the price, you will step into levels of greatness you never imagined. You don't really know what you're made of until life forces you to find out. Pain has a way of pulling out parts of you that would have stayed hidden if everything was always smooth and easy. When you are comfortable, you never have to dig deep. You never have to stretch yourself. You never have to reach for that next level grit and resilience. But when pain shows up, when disappointment smacks you in the face, when life takes something from you that you thought you couldn't live without, suddenly you are confronted with the truth of who you are. Pain reveals your potential. It shows you strength you didn't know you had, patience you never thought possible, and courage you didn't realize was inside you all along. Think about it. Diamonds are formed under extreme pressure. Gold is refined in fire. Muscles are built through resistance. Every great thing that exists in this world went through a process of struggle before it became what it is. Your life is no different. You can talk about potential all day long. People can tell you how much talent you have, but you won't see the real depth of that potential until you go through something that demands everything you've got. It is pain that introduces you to your real self, not comfort. When you face pain, you face a choice. You can either let it crush you, or you can let it challenge you. In that moment, when you decide to keep pushing, when you decide to keep moving, even though you're hurting, that's when you tap into a version of yourself you didn't know was there. That's when the potential that's been lying dormant inside of you wakes up. Pain forces you to evolve. It forces you to grow. It refuses to let you stay average. Some of the most powerful breakthroughs in life come after seasons of deep pain. The heartbreak that felt like it shattered you becomes the moment you discover how much love and strength you can give to yourself. The financial struggle that embarrassed you and humbled you becomes the moment you learn discipline and creativity, and those lessons carry you to financial freedom. The rejection that cuts you down becomes the fuel that pushes you to outwork and outlast everybody else. Without the pain, you would have never discovered those qualities within yourself. You see, potential is not something you see in the mirror on a good day. Potential is something that pain drags out of you when you're crying, when you're exhausted, when you're doubting whether you could take one more step. That's when you realize you're capable of more than you thought. That's when you realize you can carry more weight than you ever imagined. That's when you realize that what you thought was the end of you was really the beginning of a new, stronger, wiser version of you. Pain sharpens your vision. When life is easy, you get distracted, you get lazy, you get complacent. But when pain hits, suddenly your focus shifts. You start to see what really matters. You start to let go of the small things and pay attention to the bigger picture. Pain has a way of stripping away the noise and pointing you back to your purpose. It is in those seasons of hurt and struggle that you discover the drive, the fire, the hunger that was buried under comfort and routine. The truth is, without pain, most people would never tap into their potential. They will coast through life, never knowing how powerful they could be. But when pain comes, it demands more. It demands growth. It demands courage. It demands resilience. And in answering that demand, you rise to a level you never thought possible. You realize that your capacity is so much greater than your current reality. You realize that you were built for more, and pain is what pulled it out of you. So don't despise your pain. Don't run from it. Don't waste it. Use it. Let it stretch you. Let it stretch you. Let it build you. Let it reveal the depths of your potential. Because the truth is, the greatest gift pain gives you is the realization that you are stronger, wiser, tougher, and more powerful than you ever thought you were. Discipline is not something that shows up when life is easy. It is something forged in discomfort. Nobody becomes disciplined by living in luxury. Nobody develops grit by always getting what they want. And nobody rises to greatness by taking shortcuts. Discipline is born in those moments when it hurts, when you are tired, when you don't feel like doing it, but you push yourself anyway. Pain and discipline are inseparable because the only way to train your mind and body to obey you is to endure what most people will walk away from. Every early morning when your alarm rings and you want to hit snooze, but you get up anyway, that is pain creating discipline. Every time you go to the gym when your body aches, every time you stay up studying or working while everyone else is relaxing, every time you choose to sacrifice pleasure for purpose, that is pain producing discipline that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. Discipline is the difference between people who dream and people who achieve. Everyone has intentions, everyone has goals, everyone has vision, but few are willing to pay the painful price of discipline. Pain comes in the form of sacrifice. Pain comes in the form of saying no to distractions. Pain comes in the form of delayed gratification. And in those moments, when you deny yourself what feels good right now for what you want most in the future, you are laying the foundation for success. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. And that bridge is built plank by plank with painful choices that most people are unwilling to make. The truth is, discipline hurts because it forces you to confront your weaknesses. It forces you to confront your laziness, your procrastination, your excuses. Nobody wants to face those things. Nobody wants to feel that discomfort. But discipline is about refusing to let those weaknesses control you. Pain is the process that teaches your body and your mind that you are in charge, not your feelings. Feelings want comfort. Discipline wants growth. Feelings want ease. Discipline wants elevation. And every time you choose discipline over feeling, you feel pain in the moment, but you gain power for the future. Look at athletes at the highest level. Do you think they always feel motivated? Do you think they always feel energized? No, they feel pain every single day. Their bodies ache. Their schedules are demanding. Their sacrifices are heavy. But what makes them champions is not talent alone. It is discipline. The discipline to show up even when it hurts. The discipline to keep practicing when they rather quit. The discipline to endure the pain that most people run from. That is why they succeed. That is why they rise to the top. Pain has trained them, and discipline has sustained them. Discipline also creates consistency, and consistency creates results. You cannot build anything great by showing up only when it feels good. You cannot achieve anything meaningful by working only when you are motivated. Pain forces you into consistency because it teaches you to work regardless of how you feel. That's the power of discipline. It eliminates excuses. When you learn to do the hard thing over and over again, despite the pain, you develop habits that carry you through seasons when motivation disappears. And the truth is, motivation will always disappear, but discipline will carry you across the finish line. Pain builds discipline because it is the ultimate test of commitment. Anybody can chase their goals when everything is smooth, when life feels easy, when energy is high. But when the grind gets tough, when you face setbacks, when you're exhausted, discipline is what determines whether you keep going or give up. Pain asks you, do you really want this? Are you willing to suffer for it? Are you willing to pay the price? And every time you answer yes by pushing forward, you are proving not just to the world, but to yourself that you are serious about your dream. Over time, the discipline born from pain becomes your greatest weapon. At first it stings, at first it feels unbearable, but soon it becomes second nature. You no longer see pain as an enemy. You see it as a teacher. You learn to crave the process because you understand that discipline gives you control over your destiny. Where others are tossed around by circumstances, by moods, by distractions, you remain steady because you have built the muscle of discipline. That muscle doesn't grow in comfort. It grows only in the struggle. This is why pain is so valuable. It doesn't just test you, it trains you. It trains you. It molds you into someone who can handle the weight of success. It sharpens your focus. It strengthens your will. It hardens your resolve. Discipline forged through pain is what allows you to keep moving when everyone else has stopped. Life is going to test you, and one thing that is guaranteed is that pain will visit you. You will face losses, disappointments, failures, and heartbreaks. You will set out on journeys that don't turn out the way you hope. You will give your all and still fall short. These moments hurt, but they are not the end. What pain really does is build resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back, the strength to rise again, the power to keep moving even when life keeps knocking you down. Every painful experience is not just a setback, it is a setup to make you tougher, wiser, and more unstoppable than you were before. Think about a rubber ball. The harder you throw it against the ground, the higher it bounces. That's resilience. Pain is the ground you hit, and resilience the bounce that takes you higher. If you never went through anything, you would never develop that inner toughness. You would never know how to recover when life throws a punch. It is pain that trains you to get up quick, to adjust, to adapt, and to keep pressing forward no matter how difficult the circumstances. Resilience is not built in the easy seasons of life. It is not developed when everything is smooth, when doors are opening effortlessly, when everything you touch turns to gold. Resilience is born in storms. It is built when you fail the exam, but study harder the next time. It is built when you lose the job, but find the courage to chase a new opportunity. It is built when the relationship ends, but you choose not to give up on love or yourself. Every time you face pain and decide not to quit, you are stacking layers of resilience inside of you. The truth is, life is never going to stop throwing challenges at you. There will always be something: financial struggles, health scares, betrayals, obstacles, unforeseen problems. If you don't have resilience, you will fold under the weight. But if you allow pain to strengthen you, if you train yourself to rise after every fall, then no matter what comes your way, you will be ready. You won't be unshaken because nothing touches you. You will be unshaken because you've been touched before and you learn how to rise. That is what makes resilient people so powerful. They are not fearless because nothing has hurt them. They are fearless because everything has hurt them, and they survive anyway. Resilience also changes your perspective. When you've been through enough pain and survived, you start to realize that setbacks are temporary. You begin to understand just because it hurts doesn't mean it will hurt forever. You gain confidence in your ability to weather storms. Pain no longer feels like the end of the road. It feels like another test that you know you will overcome. That mindset is invaluable because it frees you from fear. You stop being afraid of what might go wrong because you trust that even if it does, you will make it through. Pain doesn't just build resilience in your mind, it also builds it in your character. It humbles you. It makes you more patient, more empathetic, more understanding. People who have never suffered often break easily and judge harshly. But people who have been through pain know what it's like to struggle. They know what it's like to cry at night, to feel like giving up, to fight battles no one else can see. That experience creates a depth of character that cannot be faked. It makes you stronger, but it also makes you softer in the right ways. That's the balance resilience brings. It hardens you against life's blows, but it softens you toward people. Every champion, every leader, every success story is marked by resilience. You don't get to the top without being knocked down first. You don't fulfill your potential without walking through seasons of hurt. The difference between those who make it and those who don't is not talent. It is not luck. It is resilience. It is the decision to get back up one more time, no matter how many times you've fallen. It is the ability to keep fighting when your body is tired and your heart is heavy. It is the choice to see pain, not as the end, but as the fuel that will push you forward. So the next time pain shows up, don't despise it. Don't think it came to destroy you. See it for what it is, training. Every tear you cry is making you tougher. Every disappointment is teaching you patience. Every failure is building your endurance. Pain is the gym where resilience is built. You may not like the workout, but you will love the results. One day, you'll look back at everything you went through and realize that the pain you thought would break you was the very thing that made you unbreakable. On the other side of pain is power, and most people never discover it because they quit too soon. Pain convinces many to stop, to retreat, to play it safe. But those who endure find something extraordinary waiting for them. Pain is temporary, but the strength it produces is permanent. Every sacrifice you make, every sleepless night you endure, every moment when you push yourself beyond what you thought was possible is an investment into the kind of power that cannot be bought, cannot be faked, and cannot be taken away from you. The truth is, pain is the door you must walk through to reach your purpose. And the only way to unlock it is to keep going when it hurts. When you face pain, you are also facing a choice. You can see it as a curse, or you can see it as a gift. You can allow it to make you bitter, or you can allow it to make you better. The people who rise to greatness don't avoid pain. They transform it. They take the energy from every failure, every rejection, every hardship, and they channel it into determination, into drive, into unstoppable momentum. Pain becomes power the moment you decide to use it instead of running from it. Think about the people who inspire you most. The athletes who dominate, the leaders who move nations, the innovators who change the world. All of them have stories of pain. They lost, they failed, they struggled, but instead of letting pain break them, they let it build them. They turn a heartbreak into hunger. They turn rejection into resilience. They turn failure into fuel. That's what makes them powerful. Not that they avoided pain, but that they endured it and came out stronger. Pain teaches you endurance, and endurance is the foundation of power. Anybody can start something when it feels good, when it's exciting, when motivation is high. But what happens when it gets hard? What happens when the obstacles show up? What happens when the road gets long and lonely? Pain is what separates those who finish from those who quit. Every time you push through pain, your endurance grows, and with endurance comes strength, stability, and confidence. You no longer fear the storm because you know you've survived storms before. That is power, knowing that nothing life throws at you can stop you. There's also power in the lessons pain teaches you. You learn things in struggle that you can never learn in comfort. Pain teaches patience. It teaches wisdom. It teaches humility, teaches gratitude. Those lessons make you powerful because they sharpen your perspective and deepen your character. You stop being shaken by small things because you face big things. You stop being distracted by noise because pain has taught you what really matters. That kind of clarity and maturity is power because it allows you to move through life with focus and purpose instead of fear and confusion. Pain also reveals your true strength. You don't know how much weight you can carry until life places it on your shoulders. You don't know how much fire you can walk through until you've been burned. And when you survive, when you realize that what you thought would destroy you did, something changes inside you. You gain a quiet confidence, a belief in your ability to handle whatever comes next. That belief is power because it allows you to face the future with courage instead of hesitation. Most importantly, pain turns into power when it gives you purpose. The struggles you've survived are not just for you, they are for others. The pain you endure becomes a story that inspires someone else. The battles you fought become the blueprint for someone who doesn't yet know how to win. Your scars become proof that healing is possible. That is real power, not just rising for yourself, but lifting others because of what you've been through. When you use your pain to help someone else, you transform it into a force that multiplies far beyond your own life. The people who quit never see this transformation. They stop at the pain, never realizing that power was waiting just one step further. They give up in the darkness, never knowing that light was just ahead. That is why you cannot afford to quit. Every time you feel like stopping, remind yourself that power is on the other side. Every time it hurts, remind yourself that this is the process of becoming strong. Every time you feel weak, remind yourself that you are being prepared for something greater. Pain is not the enemy. Pain is the pathway. It is the fire that refines you, the weight that strengthens you, the test that prepares you. If you can endure it, if you can push through it, if you can refuse to quit, you will discover a level of power you didn't know you had. And once you've tapped into that power, nothing and no one can take it away.